250 gram squares of lard here. And then we have also got a stainless steel bowl, because I am well versed in kitchen equipment. Then we've also got here some icing sugar. I hope you can see this part here. I'm not sure if you can, but we shall proceed nonetheless. And just before we proceed, I just want to recommend this to you all. It is Optimum Nutrition Electrolyte Powder. Can you see that? And I've been taking it every day. And it helps with sports performance, strength training, and it just helps you to top up your electrolyte levels of sodium, potassium and magnesium. So it really helps you rehydrate, and I'm using it and it's fabulous. Fabulous. So I just wanted to recommend that. I hope you're enjoying my Christmas decorations. I have a tree here. I have my new coffee machine here, which was £70, reduced from 120 on Amazon. And then I have got some tinsel and a wreath. So we're just beginning the decorations. We haven't fully got into it yet. Right, so what else do we need? We're going to be needing our eggs. So I'll put those here. Where are the other eggs? Oh gosh, this is very much a challenge trying to find where everything is. Oh, here it is. So the other eggs are here. And then we need, I've already made a container because that'll be impossible to get them together. We might need, oh dear, we don't have much milk. I think that's everything from the fridge. Oh, and the vanilla extract that's been in the fridge. And then we're also needing our brand new self-raising flour, May 2026. Brand new self-raising flour, which I got from Sanjida at Women's Whispers. Thank you very much. And we will also be needing, what will we also be needing? Let's put these over here. I'm trying to stand up straight. I've been getting back pain recently, which is a little bit of a struggle. So what else do we need? Maybe the bananas, sugar. We will be needing sugar. So we've got a jar here of Muscovado brown sugar, and then we've also got a jar here of, you have to be so careful because everything will just fall over if you want. So we've got some granulated sugar here. That's great. And then I don't think that I'm actually going to use bananas. What I'm planning on doing, because let me show you the containers that I have. I have got this container here. Then I've just realised I don't even have a proper cake tin. So this is going to be a bit of a struggle. I have got this, which is sort of a cake tin-ish. I mean, what difference does it make really? Let's see what we have in here. So I've got this, which is a rice cooker, but I don't think it makes a difference, so we can use that. And they're the only containers I have, so I won't lie to you, it's not ideal. I haven't really thought this through, but Anyway, my plan is to basically just make enough batter to fill these 3, to be honest. And I'm also looking to bring out. I've started using this to dry things because it's quite a nice feeling to just go like that and rip it off, and then just dry it like so, and then chuck it away. Anyway, that's that. So we've also got milk chocolate chips, dark chocolate, coconut chocolate, and then I'm going to use, we've got a bit of dark chocolate here. We might actually need a little bit of salt. We've got some dark chocolate Madagascan, dark cooking chocolate, milk chocolate chips. I actually used all the dairy for making some chocolate cornflake cakes, which are currently in the fridge and which I'm going to serve up tomorrow at the market. But I've used all the dairy milk, so all we've got left is chocolate chips and dark chocolate, and I'm thinking that, to be honest, I don't really know if I'm going to use the dark chocolate, because that would be really for brownies. So maybe we'll make some brownies as well, just a few brownies too if we have the time. But right now my plan is to just make as much batter as we can to fill these 3 cake tins, so I have some cake to serve up and enough of it, and then just to make the buttercream, which is icing sugar and butter. Now if I need to make brownies, that might have to be tomorrow. I mean, I haven't got that much money and I also haven't got that much time. This is the amount of dark cooking chocolate, and I would say I'd put it on the buttercream. I mean, I could put it in the buttercream, but I don't know if I'd like dark chocolate buttercream, to be honest. Dark chocolate's really good in brownies, so let's just put that to the side for now. Come back to it later. So, first off, I think what we should do is turn on the oven. I think that would be a fantastic place to start. Preheat the oven. The second thing we want to do is get some of this butter here and use it to grease the got some poppy seeds in there from my bread, and then basically just use it to grease the tin. So first, I think to begin with, I'm just going to grease these 2 because I don't know how much batter I'm actually going to be making, because like, to be honest, I'm not probably going to measure everything because I just don't know where the batteries are, and last time the banana bread turned out fine. I think as long as we know the proportions we'll be okay. But the only problem is that ideally I would be doing this on the internet. However, I don't have access to the internet where I am standing right now. It would mean going into the other room, putting on my laptop and bringing it in. And to be honest, I just don't have it in me. So what I'm going to do is, I mean, any cake, right, it's just eggs, sugar, butter and flour. This is for a banana bread, which is less sweet, so we just want to add more sugar. So if the quantities I made last time for the banana bread actually fit in perfectly in here, so we want to make more than that because we want it to fit in here. So I'm thinking if we just do 3 times the amount, 3, maybe even 4 times the amount of batter in this recipe. Don't add the bananas, add more sugar, make it less moist and more risey, then we should be okay. But the thing that we don't have right now is the baking powder. And the problem is I don't actually know. We've also got these iced fairy cakes as backup. if it all goes to pot. Oh, we don't have the baking powder, which I must say is a real pity because that's kind of like probably the most important ingredient that we need. Oh, here it is. Okay, we do have the baking powder. We have also got some Nutella, which is good. So we can use that too. Anyway, let's get going. So have we just washed our hands? No. So let's first do that again. I can't remember if I really washed my hands. So we're just going to wash them first. We have to wash our hands nice and soapy. And then rinse them out. And then just dry them like so on the towel. And then we begin. So we're just literally going to get some butter on our fingers, move a bit closer to the camera, and then just go like this. All over. This is butter made with buttermilk, and we're just going to go all over this rather floppy cake container thingy. So that's one. And I'm going to go with this one as well. Like so. Okay, so that's that. Done both of those. Task 1 complete. So then we can put butter back in the fridge and maybe just have a quick check to see if this is actually recording. Always better to be on the safe side. Double check. Okay, that's good. Right. So first things first. Preheat the oven, done that. Grease and line, done that. So we apparently need to melt the butter in a saucepan. You see, I don't think we need to do that because why would we? We're mixing everything together. This butter's been out of the fridge for a long time, so why would we? I don't know, maybe it is still quite hard, like mixing that without a whisk, without an electric whisk is going to be tough, so I think we should melt it. So how much? This is 150 grams in this recipe. We said we were going to do 4 times the amount, so this is, we're also going to be doing all the maths in our head as well. So this is 250 grams. So 150 times 4 is 600. This is 250. So we need like I think let's just do all 3 of these, to be honest. So we ideally want to melt them, but we can't do it in the microwave because you're on the microwave. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn on the hob. Where's my small saucepan? Oh, it's under all of this stuff. Okay. So just get the saucepan, put that here, and then we're going to put all of the butter into the saucepan. Like so. I'll try not to turn my back on you. It's a little bit rude. So this is actually lard rather than butter because this is a mum-friendly recipe for busy mums working on a budget, and also it doesn't make a difference because it's a cake. They're none the wiser. So we're using lard, and we're going to put this in the lovely cake recipe. Of these in here. I don't even know if the third one's going to fit. You know what, I'm really glad I got the right amount because I wasn't exactly sure how much to get. If these cakes, like I have the vision of like a Victoria sponge type vanilla buttercream cake. However, if these cakes turn out more like buttery kind of this is sort of like galette type cake. I don't really know the word I'm looking for, but I've got specific image in my head of a type of French cake, which is very, very like lovely and buttery, but I can't think of a word. Either in English or in French. Very good. And I can hear people cackling outside. I hope they're having a lovely time. Okay, so that is really warming up. It should be, because the oven's on, and therefore it should be warming up and that will melt nicely. So the butter's melting. So what do we need to do? We should be adding the banana in the bowl, but we're not adding bananas, I don't think. Or should we add bananas? What's the harm in adding a few bananas? It's a bit healthier, isn't it? So why don't we just add the bananas? Let's just add the bananas. I've got a few. They've been in the fridge, so they're going to be quite difficult to mash up, but they are definitely ripe enough. Let's just add the bananas. Look, they're fine. They're not brown. Why the hell not? Let's make this like a banana-y type cake. So we're going to just break up these. I don't even know if you can see me there. I mean, you should be able to, but there's not really anywhere else I can go. But I just feel like it's not the best. You're not really getting to see me with the bowl, are you, here? Maybe I should like do this over here. Do it over here. So what we're doing right now is banana pummeling. We're only using 3. Which means this is not a banana cake, it's just kind of got banana, it's banana influenced. And it's a bit healthier if there's children there tomorrow to add the bananas. And it turned out well last time, so it should be the same this time. It'll make it a bit sweeter and a bit moister and a bit more flavourful. So let's just put these. I'm kind of trying to tidy up and throw away as I go, so I don't have like a huge amount of items at the end. Okay, so right, so mash the banana in a bowl and then add the eggs. Okay, so how many eggs are we going to need? We said 4 times the amount, so that means 2 large eggs, 2, 4, 6, so we're going to need 8 eggs mashed in with the banana. So, what I'll do first is I'll get a fork and do some of this standing up, and then we're just going to literally mash the banana. I think we've got a masher somewhere, you know? But that's just because the problem with the masher is that the banana kind of just sticks to it. No, let's do this properly. If we've got the equipment, just use it. For goodness sake. I've even got a whisk here. Where's our masher gone? Here it is. Something's dropped on the floor. So we're gonna mash. There's like a seed in there. We're gonna mash up these bananas in our new chef quality stainless steel bowl. That is looking fabulous. Give that a good mash. I don't know if I'm doing a gym workout, like good form, like shoulders down, shoulders back, head up. Embrace your core just to mash the bananas, but it's actually much easier when you do. Right, so we have mashed all of these bananas like so. Take over links. And then put this masher back there. We'll wash that later. So, bananas mashed. Now what we need to do is find our measuring jug and then ideally crack 8 eggs into it. But the question is, everybody, where on earth is my measuring jug? I had this problem last time, didn't I? Couldn't find it. We're going to need our sieve as well. Okay. Right, so we don't know where that is. So what I'm thinking is we don't have a small glass bowl, is to actually just literally crack them directly into the bowl and then just whisk it all up together. So these aren't actually large, these are medium. And this says 2 large eggs. So I think we should actually do 9 eggs. So 1, you see me there, I'm cracking eggs. 2, such a pity if you can't, and then I'm just not able to. Let's go over here. 3, doing 9. They don't go off until the 1st of December, so they're definitely in date and they've been in the fridge too. 1, 2, so that's 4. This is the 5th egg. 5. In there. And then just put these all up. And put them in here. Like I say, I'm still hoping that the council will send me a recycling bin. I need to chase that up. Right. So that was so many eggs now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's like use our trusty whisk to kind of just start whisking, because I think we don't want to have it so liquidy that we can't actually whisk it. If you know what I mean. If you know what it is. So good form. Shoulders up, the back and down, head up. Embrace the core and whisk. I think you want to do like a swift wrist action and as fast as you can. Okay, so just now we need to maybe slightly stir this butter. It's melting really nicely, but we just need to give it a bit of a stir. Okay. So 3 more eggs. 3 more eggs. 1. 1. Put that straight in the bin. And 2. I mean, we said we wanted this to be a little bit less moist than last time. So I think having 9 medium eggs will hopefully be okay. This one we'll soon find out. I'm not going to do any more than that. I am not going to do any more. Right. So the eggs are in there. Okay, and then what's next? So we've got to add the eggs and both types of sugar. We're actually doing the sugar here as well. So let's just whisk this nicely together. Like so. Okay, put that there. Okay, what's next? Right. So in terms of sugar, so of the caster sugar, this was 75 grams. So 75 times 4 will be just under 400 grams of sugar. So how much is in here? Am I just being really like okay, so this is 1 kilogram in here. It's basically full, 1 kilogram. So we want 400 grams, so we want like just under half of this, I think. Yeah, just about half of this. So let's just do this. Just add it all in. Right, no, we're going to add the other, so I think that's more than enough. So let's just give this a good stir. The butter's nearly melted. Just give this a good stir. Like so. Have like a big pile of cloves that ideally I would sell as well tomorrow, and I think they've all been washed, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through them all and wash anything that might need another wash and then tumble dry it. And then the only problem is I don't have like, I mean I do have a handrail. I've actually bought a handrail, so I could just like disassemble it or just bring it whole on the bus and then hang up the clothes and sell them. But I don't want to do that and then nobody buys them because they're like, yeah, but this is a cake stand. So I don't really know what to do about that anyway. So for the light Muscovado, it's the same amount. I like that we're making a Victoria sponge, but with 2 types of sugar. So this we're going to just, again, approximate estimation. That looks like half of that, so that should be enough. Okay. Apologies to any patisserie chefs or professional bakers who may be watching this, that I'm not measuring the quantities. I do realise it's not good, but like I say, I kind of want to make this recipe my own, put my own stamp on it, so I just like doing it my way. And it may fail or it may succeed, either way we'll learn. I don't usually make this much batter, so this is quite a challenge physically, but I'm glad I've been going to the gym, so I've got a bit more muscle to give it some elbow grease. Okay, so the sugar's all mixed in, the butter is now melted, so we can turn that off and take that off the hob. So what do we do next? Now, both types of sugar, sift the flour, and bicarbonate of soda, so into the bowl and stir in. Drain the sultanas. It's very funny, in this recipe that I'm using in the Hungry Student Cookbook and improvising on, it tells you to melt the butter, but then at no point in this recipe, and I had this same problem before, at no part in this recipe does it actually tell you when to add the butter. So I think it's just presumed you're going to add it in when the time's right. But the next step is, I think, to add the flour, but I think I might just add the butter first. Yeah, I'm going to add the butter first and then I'm going to do the flour. So let's just literally pour this in. Might do some stirring first just to make sure. I mean, we're adding flour, so it will all mix. I mean, it's not going to combine right now because of the fact that there's nothing to absorb it. So let's get our flour. So how much do we need? So this was 275 grams, so we basically need 1 kilogram of self-raising flour, and this is 1.1 kilogram. So we actually need more than 1 kilogram. So this is actually perfect. If we just add all of this, then it should be perfect. It doesn't go off until May 2026. May 2026. Plenty of shelf life still left. what we're going to do is we're going to lick through. And I do so wish that I was like here doing this and you could actually see me, but that's not the case. At least we've got our sieve. So, sieve is here. So move this like that and take this out. We are going to do the sieving of the flour bit by bit. So let's go. We're going to put that in about that much. Just see how we go. Sieve. I might have to take off my rings for this because this one at least is kind of getting in the way. So sieve that, and then a bit more. Sieve that. Oh wait, we haven't mixed it. My bad. Okay, so let's do some mixing in. Right. So we're just mixing that in as best we can. Then do a bit more. Oh, this is actually much easier than you think. Just sieve in the flour like so. This is like the most amount of batter that I've ever made in all of my life. When I started baking with my mother as a child, this is hands down the most batter that I have ever made. So we are going to just do our best. It's looking much better. Let's get all the flour around the edges. Looking much better. I was watching a YouTube video, in fact several, of a woman on YouTube who has 8 children. And she makes, I wish I could tell you her name, but she makes recipes basically every day for her kids and her husband, and she seems to have a kitchen that's literally about the same size as mine. And I'm just thinking to myself, God, that's amazing that you can cook for all your children in such a small kitchen. How inspiring. And she seems very upbeat and always seems to have slept. She must have a really good husband. That's all I can say. To have that many kids and still be standing, looking healthy, and making really nice food for your children every day. I mean, wow. But also, she must have a good husband. But also, she must just be a very capable woman and a very good mother to be able to keep that up. And you're filming as well every day. It's editing. It's quite demanding. Very, very inspiring for me to see her. You know, I'm not just check we're still filming. Oh, we are. That's good. There'll be nothing worse. I've got this new thingy here that I got from B&Q, and it's amazing. Every time it senses you, it lets out a spray of aroma from here. So this kitchen smells really nice right now. And apart from when I just drop everything, I feel like this video is not going too badly. But I must say this is going to be quite difficult to mix together all of this. It's going to be quite difficult to mix it together. But I think we're going to have to use an actual spoon for this. So thank you, Siv. But we're now going to move on to a trusty wooden spoon to mix this up. Really, I would lift it up, but it's not going to be possible, so just mixing everything together like so. There we go. And then we're just going to get the remainder of this flour. We are going to add it all in because that's what the recipe says. 1.1 kilogram, 275 times 5 times 4. If you do 250 times 4, that's 100. So 4 times 25 is 1.1. So yeah, it's the whole pack of flour we need to add, which is what we've done. So by the grace of God, hopefully this will turn out well. We shall see. It's more like a dough now, which is interesting. To be honest, I think this is going to turn out more like banana bread, but then I think when we add the buttercream, it'll be like a banana bread, not in a loaf tin, with buttercream, and hopefully it will still be quite nice. It looks nice. It's just because it's a dough, it's even more difficult to stir it. And also I want to add chocolate chips too, so we're going to, and I want to add vanilla essence, I want to add baking powder, so we're going to add all of these. And then half a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, which is baking powder, so we will just get, I think it's meant to be half of one of these, so we'll just do about that much. Right. Last but not least, we're going to add in some vanilla extract. Like, I'm going to add all of it. Vanilla extract. And then just a little bit of salt as well. A little bit of salt just to bring out all the flavours. That back in here. Now is the challenging bit, which I do not want to be doing in an oven. So we're moving over here. And by the way, whilst this is in the oven on 170 degrees, which is here, we're going to be making the buttercream. But first, let us focus on at least making this batter so that it doesn't have loads of flour in it, like white patches of flour, because that will just ruin the cake. This is like a very thick, like definitely a banana bread type batter. I'm just trying to, do you know what we could add is a bit of milk. We could add a bit of milk just to slightly liquidize it a little bit, just so it's a little bit easier to stir. A little bit of milk, make it a little bit more of a runny consistency, so I can actually make sure that all of the ingredients are nicely combined. And I also hope that this is actually going to fit in the oven, because this is a lot. Look at that. That is a lot of batter slash dough. But we have added all the ingredients. I'm pretty sure that I haven't forgotten anything. And I've even added some of my own additions based on my baking experience. So we've also added chocolate chips, which should be a nice touch. So I think it's going to be amazing, actually. I think it's going to turn out really well. I just wish that I had a cake mixer, so I didn't have to stir this myself, because it really does need to be all combined, and it's so bleeding difficult to stir it. It's so difficult. Right, I think we're folding everybody rather than stirring. We're folding the batter rather than stirring it. So I guess in a different sort of cake that wasn't a banana bread cake, you would have 2 large eggs. 2 times 4 is 8 large eggs. We've added 9 medium eggs. So I'm thinking why don't we add another egg, but then we'd have to whisk it first. But I just think that might be a good idea. So we've done 10 eggs rather than 9. And also it will add a bit more moisture to the cake. So we'll just put another egg into my brand new I think it was Primark Home pint glass, not for alcohol, just because it was a large. So I'll just flip it. I make sure I haven't forgotten to add anything. Just this egg up, and we'll add that in, and then just fold it in gently. I don't really think milk's going to make much of a difference, to be honest with you. Yeah, I don't think it will make much of a difference. I think what's more important is just to add more egg, just to make sure that the, is it proportions? Yeah, the ingredients proportions are, you know, correct, so to speak. So this is the most difficult cake mixture to fold. Oh my goodness me. Oh God. Right. Okay, so what do we do next? So now literally all we do, because I can't do this anymore, it's just too difficult. So all we're going to do now is just literally, we're going to get, do you know what, we're not going to get anything, we are just going to have to do this the hard way and pretty much just lift and pour, baby. Lift and pour until the loaf tin is full, like it is I think now, like so. It is going to rise, so I don't want to put too much in because it might rise and then go over the top. It has been greased, but it will be difficult to get this cake out, and I don't have a wire rack, but that's that. Looking good, right? So that can go into, we really need to move, no, we'll be okay, that can go there. And then, this ring back on, move this, is the second one we're doing. I mean, I think we are going to need that third one. So we're just pouring the banana bread mixture. Oh no, it's not all mixed together, but it's okay. The top bit was, but the bottom bit wasn't. So we're just going to mix that in, and then do the same for this side. Just mix it all like so, like so. What am I doing? Why am I getting this? Why am I getting this? I think it was, no, I don't know. So give that a good mix, and then add it into the cake container. Do you know what? I don't think we maybe we will need a third. I don't know. Let's see how this spreads out. No, I don't think we will. Yeah, no, we will. We will need a third. So that is that one. And the batter is very lovely. I realised today when I was filming myself doing a taste test for the pasta and I was very hungry, I realised that the way I was eating was absolutely unelegant. And I suddenly thought to myself, how bad that all my poor friends and family have for so many years had to watch me eat like a very hungry young lady. Okay, are we still recording? Let's check. Yep, we are. Wonderful. Okay, so this is now, wow, that is floppy. The second cake container going in. Where? I guess this is as good as mine. I think we're going to try and squeeze it in. No, because then if it rises, it'll have nowhere to go. So we're going to put it on the top, like that. So the issue here is that we've still got loads left. But there's no space in the oven, apart from if the grill could be taken out, maybe. Then it wouldn't cook from below. It doesn't go. See, in order for us to do this, we'd have to move the cakes upwards, but they're kind of in the centre of the oven. So I don't really want to have to do that, to be honest. Then they're gonna, if they rise, they're gonna be very close to the top. I think what we might do is use this glass dish and just put it like on the bottom of the oven. I don't really know what the other alternative is, to be honest. Oh, actually, wait, I do. We could just use a baking tray. Where is the baking tray? That's the question. Where is my baking tray? Can you see it? Oh my god, this kind of stuff is just driving me up the bend. Because then we could just put it on the second shelf if we had the baking tray. And it must be somewhere here, but I just can't for the life of me. Let's see where it is. Here. Not there. Don't know where it is. I mean, I wouldn't have put it in the living room. But just it must be like right in front of me. And I just can't see where it is. So gonna have to be this glass dish. Therefore, don't think it makes too much of a difference. I just won't be able to put it on the oven shelf. It'll have to go on the bottom of the oven. But that's okay. And then as soon as we do this, we'll be like, oh, there's the baking tray, or oh, I put it in that room because I needed it for that. Oh well. I mean, does it make a difference if you use a glass container over a actual traditional baking tray container? Does it make a difference? Is it gonna affect the quality of the baking? I don't know. But I must say I'm quite looking forward to spooning this out of the bowl. So that's good. So yeah, we'll just spoon all of this out like so. Then we will be nearly finished with the mixture. So without being too greedy and eating the cake before it's ready. And then, lo and behold, this tiny little cake here is going to go wherever it can fit, which actually It's already rising, which is really good. Cakes are already rising. Turn that up and down a bit. That's 170. Throw this away. And then we will leave it in for 1 hour. 1 hour. And then we leave it to cool for 20 minutes. And that's it. And so all we need to do now is make the icing for the cake, which it doesn't have the recipe on here, but to be honest, all you have to do really is we'll put this to the side to eat later. We'll put this space anywhere. So we'll just put that on top of the tap. No, that's not going to work. We'll put that on top of our tower here. And then we need a container to make the icing. So the only one I have is actually going to be this rice cooker, which I've never used. And do you know what I've just realised? I've used up all the butter. I've used up all the butter, so there's no scope for any icing. What are we going to do? What are we going to do here? Right, I don't know what we're going to do. We can't use dark chocolate because children won't like that. All we've got left is this butter here. So I think what we're going to do is just use all of this. Well, yeah, use all of this to just make the buttercream. We can't really stir it in here though, or can we? Oh, we can. So we're just literally spooning out as much of this. We don't need it to be thick. It's not going to be a thick buttercream. It's just going to be a little glaze, and I don't really want to use it all because then I won't have any butter for my toast. So we're going to use that much. And not the rest of it. We can maybe put, I don't really want to put Nutella in because I don't want it to be too sugary. So we're just going to use this and then just basically get the icing sugar and just keep adding it until it tastes like buttercream. I don't have any vanilla extract left. I think you do add milk. Yeah, I've made icing sugar before, it's pretty simple. Actually, I think you're supposed to sieve it, aren't you? Oh no, but my siever's got wet, so that's just not going to work. So we're just gonna add it in. Hope for the best. Hope for the best. Expect the worst. So we're just literally stirring the butter in with the icing sugar to make the buttercream for the cakes. A very thin layer of buttercream. Actually, do you know what? This already looks phenomenal. So I'm feeling quite hopeful about this. We can always go out and buy more butter tomorrow. Or we can use like a layer of Nutella on one of the cakes or something. Maybe we'll do that. I don't know yet, but this is looking really good. So I'm really pleased. So we're just stirring this around to make very lovely yellow kind of looking buttercream, because this butter has actually got buttermilk in it. So the buttercream is going to be quite yellow, which is kind of like spring. I feel like I need some Christmas decorations to put on these cakes. Do you know what? I definitely do. So in the morning, that's what I'm going to go and do. I'm going to go and buy some Christmas trees to put on the cakes. They didn't have any in Lidl. I'm sure they didn't have anything like that in Lidl. They'll probably have it in Aldi. So I'll do that in the morning. Right, let's have a taste test. Do you know what? This actually did need sieving, because now it kind of looks curdled. Oh fuck, I've really messed this up. I've really messed this up. Well, never mind, we'll have to just smooth it out. I should have sieved the icing sugar. maybe you can do it for the rest. You've learnt. So let's just, I mean it's already very sweet, but it still tastes like butter. So let's just give our sieve a wash, like so. Our big race just to find. We will just after that we will just dry it with our drying towel on both sides as best as we can. Like I said, give it a good old dry. That wasn't as hard as it looked. And then dry our hands. And we will proceed to sieve the icing sugar through the sieve into the rice cooker cake tin. That's what we're going to do. Sieve it all through. Hope it will look a bit smoother now and lesson learnt for next time. See, this is what, like, not, I wouldn't say lazy, but people who are good at doing things efficiently, sometimes it pays off and sometimes there's just no other way of doing things apart from the proper way. That is literally just life. What I've learned in my 31 years on this earth, that sometimes you can take shortcuts, sometimes you can't. Sometimes if you take shortcuts you'll get half-assed results, and sometimes you won't. Sometimes you'll get nothing. It all just depends on everything else. But this is looking better now. This looks kind of like Christmas snow. So let's mix this around. It's looking much better. You do need to add quite a lot of icing. You know, I've just had a flashback. I think I used to make this icing sugar at my childminder's house. My childminder's daughter was called Carla. And I just had a flashback. I'm sure we used to make icing sugar together. Deja vu. Okay, that looks really good. Let's have a taste. Oh no, buttercream in my hair. Very nice, but I do think that perhaps it needs a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Not that much. I'm just gonna sieve it all through. Just nice, so it's lovely and sweet. And all the children there, so that they will really enjoy my cakes. Right, so now we've made this, what I'm going to do, I think, is make myself a cup of tea. Do some warm up and spray the oven top, and then just relax until the hour is up, when we will have to then take the cakes out and let them cool before we put the buttercream on them. So we'll do that. And then it's just a matter of packing everything up, getting the clothes sorted, and packing everything up into my shopping trolley to take with us, and set up our stand, our tablecloth, everything that we have at this point. And then just either sleeping or sleeping straight away and then doing it all in the morning. Now that, my friends, is delicious. Really delicious. I could actually probably just eat the whole thing now, but I'm not going to. So here's the dilemma. We could do blondies with that dark chocolate. Here is the dark chocolate. We've got the bowl, we've got the eggs, we've got the sugar, we've got the flour, baking powder, so we could do brownies, and I'm thinking we should, but the only problem is that I'd have to do them in this large oven dish at the moment, which isn't actually that much of a problem, but do you know what? I kind of want to have a rest. I do want to do the brownies because I do want to use this up, and I do want to have enough cakes tomorrow. And I am going to be charging like good prices for these cakes because I've put a lot of effort in to make them. Oh shoot, we didn't add any butter. Oh no, we've got all that butter left. Do you know what? That is a fantastic thing, because guess what we can do with this? We can add this to the buttercream. I think I'm a little bit of a genius. So we can add this to the buttercream, or we could have saved it for the brownies, but we don't have butter for the brownies. We don't have any butter left. And I don't think that would have been enough anyway for brownies, so we're going to have to wait until the morning if we want to make brownies, because I have got a lot of chocolate to make them. I've also got this chocolate here, so I've got all of this chocolate. We don't have any butter left, so we need to buy butter in the morning, but it's fine because I wanted to have buttercream anyway for the icing, and now we've got enough buttercream, so it should be fine. It should be fine. I just hope, I really hope that's not going to affect the quality of the cake, and I don't think it will because it's got a lot of other good ingredients in it. It will probably actually be a bit healthier and less lardy and less stodgy for all the children. So yeah, anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to not sieve the icing sugar into this right now. I'm just going to let this lie for a while, and then once I've had the rest, I will come back to all of this later. For now, we will fold this over, put the milk back in the fridge. I'm very proud to say that now I officially, hopefully, unless these cakes bomb, I should have, I've got my oven glove at the ready, and I should have things to sell tomorrow. Homemade things to sell tomorrow, which I can say they're homemade and evidence that they're homemade. So I'm very pleased. As to whether we will end up making the brownies, we shall see. Probably we will at 7 or 8 AM when Aldi opens. I'll go up and I'll buy some butter, look up a good, in fact I think we might have the brownie recipe somewhere in here. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Brownies, 218. 218. Yeah, double chocolate chunk brownies. We've got the recipe here for double chocolate chunk brownies. So dark chocolate, we've got that. Butter, we need. Sugar, we've got. Vanilla extract, we need. Large eggs, we've got. Flour, we've got. I don't know if I have plain flour or self-raising flour. I don't think it matters that much. Pinch of salt and chocolate chunks we'd need. So that's good, we've got the recipe ready. We've still got like the sugar here, the icing sugar's here. I can put my ring back on. And that's great. I still haven't set this machine yet. Oh my god, they've exploded. Oh dear. Okay, so it's fine. The cake in the loaf tin has exploded, but the other two are fine, so we should be okay. Definitely the one in the glass dish is fine, but the one in the loaf tin has exploded. But let me bring you over so you can see how they're cooking. So that's the state of affairs as it stands. The loaf tin we put too much in, but the other two are doing really well. Oh my god, that loaf tin is just exploding, oh no. That oven's gonna need a good clean. Never mind, it'll be fine. So that's it for now. All that remains to be done after this is to spread the buttercream on the cakes and then work out how we're going to get some paper plates to give people the cake on. Some kind of stand to put the cakes on. I can bring my money tin with me for them to pay. Maybe. I might just put it in like a bag. And then we're going to need something for the brownies to go on. We're going to have to let the cakes cool. Put something on, we're going to have to put something down to let them cool in. And then clean the oven because it's going to have exploded everywhere. But I think what I'm going to do now is just rest for a second. I'm just going to collect myself and have a cup of tea, and then we'll come back to the rest of this in an hour when they're ready. So watch this space, everybody. Thanks for watching. See you later.